I think it's a bit stupid.
I don't really know about Evel Knievel.
In 1975, Evel Knievel went global. Thinking big as ever for his debut performance on foreign soil, he booked the biggest stadium in Britain and promised his longest leap yet. The Wembley authorities, used only to the FA Cup final and the genteel rights of the Horse of the Year show, plagued promoter John Daly with reservations about the all-American daredevil.
They were about to put on a show which, quite honestly, they became more and more terrified over. And let alone filling the stadium, they were also concerned as to whether the people would get full value for money. You know, what about the turf? What exactly does this Evel Knievel do? Is there any chance we could change his first name?
Evel embarked on a whistle-stop tour of London to promote his show and was clearly captivated by an impromptu history lesson he took in along the way.
Now, the first person to be beheaded here was Queen Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII.
You had a sort of a real degree of cynicism with the English audience, because all they knew about him was that he'd failed at Snake River. Some said he pulled the parachute too quick. You know, so there was a sort of a doubt about this character.
But Wembley has never seen an Evel Knievel, nor has London. And 80,000 of them have turned out.
The American commentator for ABC television at Wembley was Frank Gifford.
He will be jumping over 13 buses.
I walked into Wembley Stadium. I took one look at all those buses lined up and the ramp going up to the furthest end of Wembley Stadium, and I thought, oh boy, this is no chance. And I guess about an hour later he came in, and he had his kind of raggedy leather suit on, not his jumpsuit, but one I think he had spent the night in it. And he came in and he said, "How you doing, Frank?" I said, "I'm doing fine." I said, "You're not doing too well, though, are you?" And he said, "Well, I'm hurting." And that was the first time he looked over and he saw the buses. And he said, "Hell, I can't do that." I said, "You can't do what?" He said, "I can't jump that far." And I said, well, let's take a bus or two out. We don't care. This isn't, no, he said, I said I'd jump 13. And that was the end of it.
We had put microphones in the tunnel where he was going to come out of, and then we played the English national anthem, and then we, out of good manners, we played the American national anthem. And of course, Evel started to let go of the throttle, and I'm afraid sort of bedlam took place. You know.
He made a couple of runs at it, and each time he did, the entire stadium collectively would, and he would stop right on the end. And he worked him up into the most incredible frenzy. So he told me he was going to go, as I said, he told me he was going to go in the third time, and sure enough, he put the thumb up, and I thought, here he comes. And I said into the microphone, I think he's going to go now on this attempt. And so down the ramp he comes, and off the end he goes, and it looked like a pretty good jump, except he was right. He could not jump 13, he jumped about 12 and a half.
Oh my God.
I mean, I tried to hang on to that motorcycle all the way down that ramp, just like riding a bull, like a Brahma bull. I just couldn't hang on to it. When it finally threw me off, I went over the handlebars, and when I landed, it caught up with me and got right on top of me and just burned the hell out of me. And of course, I was unconscious for several minutes after that jump. I didn't know where I was.
But despite the crippling pain of a broken hand, fractured pelvis and concussion, Evel Knievel never forgot to be the consummate showman.
I've got to tell you that you
are the last people in the world who will ever see me jump, because I will never, ever, ever jump again. I am through.
I went in an ambulance with him, and he was covered in dirt and everything. He was badly shook up, but he still kept his sort of sense of humour, because he said, he sort of apologised. He said, "I'm sorry, John," he said, "but my granny always told me to catch the last bus." And I said, "Forget it, it's okay."